Hi, I'm Bran, and I love Hallmark movies and mysteries.
I'm Brian, and I like Hallmark movies and mysteries.
You nailed it. I'm Dan, and I despise Hallmark movies and mysteries, and this is the Deck the Hallmark Podcast.
Deck the Hallmark, it's his podcast.
Brandon and friends host this podcast.
We hope you like this jolly podcast.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
How we doing? How we doing?
Good.
What about you, man?
Thank you.
Okay, I've thought about this.
Yeah.
Friday. How's your bracket? Perfect still?
Perfect.
Is that what I heard?
So
Perfect
far.
shape.
Wow.
Yeah.
All of us?
Man,
In great
all-
shape?
We all picked the same.
Well, what's crazy is we didn't, but somehow we're all still perfect.
Weird
Amazing.
how that works.
I can tell you exactly how. The blood of Christ, amen.
Interesting.
That's one way.
wow.
You were talking
So
about
the blood of Christ is contradictory. Is
you
what
were
you're saying.
talking about the March Madness bracket,
Yeah, what bracket were you talking about?
the bracket of life.
Of life.
The bracket of
life.
life.
Exactly
yeah,
right.
yeah.
It's just, we
Exactly
It does
right.
make
The
them all
bracket of
perfect. You're
heaven
right.
or
No, no,
hell.
you're right. Yeah. Makes them all
Wonder who's gonna win? Bum bum bum. Dun dun dun.
perfect.
Boom. Bum. Well, hope everyone's doing well. That's Carmen's the champion.
Carmen's the champion, everybody.
Where
35-year
humanity's
anniversary.
humanity's eternal destiny is dependent on a boxing match, similar to Creed 3 and Creed 2 in Creed. Guys,
Rocky, Balboa,
Rocky,
Rocky 5, 2, 4,
4, 3,
3,
2.
2.
You're counting backwards, God.
Bloodsport. Bloodsport 1.
Guys, favorite boxing
Warrior.
movie? What do you got?
Creed is my favorite boxing
It
movie.
is?
Yeah, well, Raging Bull, I don't count as a boxing movie. That movie is like so good, and it is about boxing, but that's more
Okay.
of a Martin Scorsese like movie.
Sure.
Creed, I think, is better than all the Rockies. True story. But
Okay.
my favorite sports movie ever is Warrior,
Yeah,
which
Warrior.
is MMA.
Yeah.
And that I don't even like MMA really, but Warrior the movie's phenomenal. What do you got?
Panda loves MMA.
Yeah,
Remember that?
he does.
Does
Boy,
he still,
he?
you think?
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
he does.
Big
Like more
fight
than
night.
ever? You
Yes.
think? Wow.
Fight night every Saturday. He's at it.
He's trying to plan the birth of his child
Around the schedule?
MMA,
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
You need something to anchor things to.
Well, you try to do basically that with March Madness.
Yeah.
You explained on
Yeah.
Tuesday.
I did.
so,
I did
yeah.
explain that. Hey guys, let me ask you this:
Yeah.
23 people over the last
a lot.
month have said one thing to us,
Really?
and it was, "How was your weekend?" I know it's
23
Friday.
people.
I know.
You know,
23
it's
people.
Friday.
I know. How is your weekend, and how is your weekend going to be?
My weekend actually was great. I played laser tag a bunch around our house. We have these laser tag guns that you don't need the chest thing. They just have the indicator on the gun, so it's just a one piece.
So you're trying to shoot the other gun?
Yeah, exactly. And we were turning all the lights off in the house.
Week.
So one
It was
piece
fun.
laser
It was
tag.
nice
That's
and easy.
fun.
Did
It
you
was
beat
pretty
your
fun.
kids?
They were like, "Can we play laser tag?" I'm like, "Oh, that thing's so loud. It's obnoxious. I don't want to." And I'm like, "Fine, we'll do it." And then before you know it, it's 8:30 at night. I'm like, "One more round. Let's
One
go."
more game. Yeah, that checks.
Look
So,
at you.
Yeah, it was a
Look
good
at you.
time. That was a good
Did you
weekend.
learn that lesson on a Hallmark movie? To get
What?
involved in the life of your kids?
Did I what?
Learn that in a Hallmark
they-
movie?
Oh, that lesson. That was a lesson I took away from
Yeah.
a movie. Yeah,
Yeah.
spend
Fair.
time with your kids.
So,
And
you never know when they're gonna send a balloon in the air.
Yeah,
et cetera.
send that last balloon up
Yeah,
in
that's
the air.
exactly right.
Yeah.
Dan, how was your weekend?
Yeah, it was good. Grilled some good food
Hmm.
on Saturday.
Not as good as an air fry,
Got some,
but
you know, could you have air fried that steak, Brandon?
I saw this. I saw this post, by the way, on the thing. This is what I will say about the air fry argument that I feel like has been blown out of proportion.
yes, a little bit.
Is a high-end steak on a grill better than an air fryer? Of course
Okay.
it is. Of
Great.
course it is. But on a regular occurrence, can throwing a steak in an air fryer produce a good steak that I enjoy? Absolutely.
That is, if we could compare that to the last argument, I think you would find that
I don't. Here's my point
But
is.
I appreciate it because if you had
No,
said
my
that
point is.
originally, we'd been
My
fine.
point is, I don't think that the chasm is as big as you think it is
chasm.
between a finished product. But I'm not going to put an expensive steak in an
In an
air
air
fryer.
fryer, sure.
Right? There's some things that are
Because you
sacred.
know it's an air fryer.
because I know that that's not the way that God intended it.
Yeah, back to
But
the
it
bracket.
can do a really, really, really good job. And it's easy.
It is.
Okay? I don't have to go out and do the whole thing.
Dude, I love the whole
I know you love the
thing,
whole
yeah.
thing.
I love it.
I know you love the whole thing. And I love you.
Yeah.
Buddy.
You got to eat some steak.
I had a great time.
You handed to him over the fence?
No.
He was there. All our kids were in the
that's
backyard. He was
great.
just there watching. He was like, "So what are you going to do next? What are you going to do?"
So you're gonna? Can I have a little bit of that?
And then this week, I'm going to Mexico in 2 days.
Mission trip.
Nope,
Yeah.
just a good
Mission
old
trip
vacation.
to Mexico.
It's a good old family vacation trip to Mexico. That's
sounds
all it
fun.
is.
That's
Yeah,
great,
so
man.
That'll make for a
forward
good
to it.
weekend.
Yeah, I'll pop back in for the episodes next week.
I hope
That's
so.
cool.
Like I'll fly back. But,
Thanks,
you know,
brother. Thanks, brother.
Figure it out.
You're
Thanks,
professional.
brother. Unexpected Grace. Originally on the Hallmark Movies and Mysteries channel on March 12th, 2023. And I want a little something like this. 2 years ago, this girl puts a coin in an indoor fountain.
Just a weird.
What?
Is it weird? Are you working on like a true crime podcast voice?
Two
years ago. Fountain.
Yeah. 2 years ago, the girl.
I do declare she done been dead.
Her name's Tony.
Ish.
Tony wishes for things to get better between her mom and her dad and to find a new best friend. She ends up attaching a note to a balloon, releasing that note and balloon into the sky. 2 years later, we find out that she passed away. Why'd you laugh?
I was just like guffawing at how you said that. You went from like, she's doing all these things.
That's how the movie does it.
That's true.
It cuts to 2 years later and she's not there anymore. Gosh, Dan, have some decorum.
This is the air fryer of synopsis.
We then meet, so it's awesome.
It's super easy to do.
We then meet a dad named Jack and his daughter
Takes up a lot of
Grace.
car space.
We expected to meet Jack, but I would say that Grace is unexpected. Unexpected Grace. Name of the movie.
Oh,
They're newer to the area. Grace is not
sounded like you
thrilled.
said they were nude.
They're newer to the area. Grace is
They're
not thrilled
nude
about this.
to the area.
Grace gets home from school, shoots some hoops. More on that later.
Outside the school.
Gets home from school, shooting some hoops, and then starts looking through an old box of keepsakes, including a picture of her mom that she folds up, puts in her pocket. Jack is then lecturing her about how she needs to stop looking down at her phone and look up. So she looks up to prove a point and sees a pop balloon in the tree. She says, "We should get that down." And Jack says, "We'll get to it. We'll get to it." She decides that she's going to do it herself with a rake. I would never even thought to do the rake. I thought I would have, when I was rolling down the trash can, I would have been like, I wonder if I could stand on that. and
That's
reach.
what I thought she was going
I
to do.
did. Thank you. I'm always looking for reasons to get on top of things. You know what I mean?
Just end up high.
So she gets it down and she decides that she's going to read this. It's a note from Tony. Tony left her address to write a letter so they can become pen pals.
Thought I'd put this letter in a balloon, see what happens.
Tony.
Bada boom.
Tony,
Yeah.
get out of here.
Okay.
Scram. We'll come back later.
I'll talk to you. Say hello to your mother.
All right, I will. So she decides that she's going to put together a little goodie basket and drop it off on her porch.
This is the air fryer of synopsis.
Goodie basket.
A goodie basket.
Goodie basket.
A goodie basket.
These nude neighbors with a goodie basket.
Her mom Noelle
It's like
finds
you
this.
realize you thought box was like a cuss word.
I know. I wrote down box.
Basket.
I wrote down box, but then I remembered that it was a basket. So it was an
That
on.
was where it was important
Yeah.
to stay true there. That's
Stay
where
true
it
to your
was.
school and to baskets. Her mom Noelle finds this, is shocked to see a letter addressed to Tony. Tony. She reads the letter, decides in the letter she leaves an email. So she emails Grace and is like, "Hey, this is Noelle. Here's where you could get. Here's where you could get some friends." Kind of like bug off type of thing. But she does not bug off. They go back and forth a little bit, become email pen pals. She's under the impression that Noelle is like Tony's older sister. But no, Tony's not here. Noelle's a full-blown adult. So Grace goes with her
Friday
dad.
yet? I mean, come on.
Can you let me? Grace goes to a Shakespeare event with Jack, and Noelle is there and performs a little sonnet, maybe?
Little ditty?
Little ditty.
Little jiggy about Bill Shakespeare. So she's like, that in the little program, it says Noelle. Is it? So she decides, instead of handling this in person, she's going to write an email and say, hey, was that you there? And I thought you were a kid. So Noelle is like, sorry you thought I was a kid. I'm an adult. We should probably stop talking. So Grace reads that email and immediately goes to Noelle's house looking for Tony. I was promised a friend. She's like, Tony isn't here, but come on in.
Italian man that attached
So
letter.
she has still not told Grace that Tony has passed away.
So I put letters on balloons, so sue me.
I like cupcakes. Jack goes
like
to
a gift
pick
basket.
a gift basket. Jack goes to pick up Grace at Noelle, and Noelle opens up the door, and he's like, "Awooga!" She tries to tell them that Tony,
Tony.
isn't there anymore.
No.
But it just
Went to
doesn't.
the
It
big
doesn't
gift
quite.
basket in the sky.
It doesn't quite happen. She
The big gift basket in the sky.
She and Jack
That's funny.
going up to the biscuit in the sky. She and Jack get together, and she tells Jack the truth, and he says, "Okay, let's tell her together." So they go to tell Grace about Tony, and Grace is like, "I have to be honest, this is a bummer." But the
Didn't
good
even
news.
see the Mario Brothers movie coming out this year.
The good news
What
is
gives?
that Noelle tells Grace
Tony.
that she can go up to Tony's room and just have at it.
Yeah, go to town.
Do a little shopping spree.
Don't take my leather jacket.
She takes the denim jacket instead.
Oh, okay, that's
so
all right.
no problem. So Noelle's obviously going through a lot. She and Jack hang out some more. He touches her face. Things are clearly getting pretty serious pretty quickly. It is about to be the 2-year anniversary of the passing of Tony. So she is going to go to the cabin that her and her ex-husband split 50-50 right down the middle, 3 out of 5.
2.5 out of 5.
And so she's like, I got to go deuce out. Jack is like, hey, I got to go on a work thing. I got to figure out, how I'm going to pay my employees, all this stuff. And she's like, okay, well, your daughter can come. And he's like, would that be weird? She says no. We all say yes. So they go. They're having a wonderful time. Her and Grace, and Jack shows up and it's like, hey, maybe even I'll stick around. Maybe even make you pancakes. Maybe even have a fun time with you, remembering your daughter we didn't know. Maybe even bubbles. I know how to flick the wrist. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, Noelle's ex-husband shows up.
Ed nowhere.
Out of nowhere.
I'm at nowhere.
I gotta.
Anything?
I'm running out of time. I gotta finish this up. So out of nowhere, her ex-husband shows up, and it's clear that Jack and that guy know each
That's
other.
because he tried to hire him to go to Portland.
Do you want to do this? Why did you feel the need?
Trying to help you.
I know.
said you had to move
could
it
just
along.
go yes and keep moving.
Yes, he's gonna move to Portland.
Boy.
And that really upsets Grace. And so Noelle is like, hey, I've got an idea. What if you don't? What if you decide to just have, you guys work it out, you stay here. What if you stay here now, huh? I guess it all works out. He does stay here, and we see them go inside of Jack's house as a family, maybe. And that, my friends, was an unexpected grace.
We did it.
Let's take a quick break. We'll come back. We'll deck the Hallmark.
Take the Hallmark. Head nowhere.
Hello. I'm Ed Nowhere. Hey everybody, welcome back to Detective Hallmark. We're talking about Unexpected Grace, Hallmark Movies and Mysteries. Michael Rady back in the saddle again.
Yeah, he is.
Speaking of saddles, saddle up your horses. We got a hot take to give. Brian is up first. Brian, hop on that horse.
Yeah.
Nay, nay. Ha-ha! What'd you think about this movie?
All right, let's
Did
get
you
on
say horse?
No.
Okay.
Yes.
I'll see myself out.
All right,
Thank
bye,
you.
buddy.
Yep. See you, suckers.
I bet Rick doesn't ride a horse ever. I bet he would not hop on a horse.
Rick,
He doesn't look like that.
Hello there.
have you ever ridden a
Thanks for
horse?
finally asking me to come on the program. I have many a horse at the Fitzies.
Yeah. Are they allowed horse?
Why are you closing your eyes there, big guy?
I'm just trying to, can you,
You know the mechanical bull?
Yes.
Ours are horses. It's a mechanical horse.
Horse. Okay.
wow.
You know, that thing will buck when you get some of those late Sugar Ray tracks going on there.
Yeah,
Can't blame him for that.
can't blame him
Buck
for that.
like nobody's business.
What's the longest you've ever stayed on?
6 seconds.
All right, fair enough.
bad.
Yeah.
Brian, what do you think about this movie, buddy?
Yep.
But
So,
no one said horse.
No.
of course.
All right, just making sure.
No. So let me get on this horse here. The this movie.
I'm Ed Nowhere.
Thanks, Ed.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, I got nowhere to go.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
know.
I know.
We can tell. And
Yeah.
all day to get there.
Nothing to say.
Nothing.
No, but you're
Nothing,
here.
Yep.
I need eye drops. I'm out.
Okay, great.
You need
Thanks, Ed.
eye
Does
drops.
anyone have eye drops?
It's like some Visine.
Yes.
Opcon A, maybe?
Hey, you guys know Ben Stein?
Yes.
Sure.
That. What he-
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, clear eyes.
Clear
I
eyes,
believe.
full
yeah, that
hearts,
one.
Ed
okay,
Nowhere.
Yeah, I'll get you some after the show.
God bless.
Yep.
His eyes are going to be killing him. It's going to take a while.
Yeah.
I hate that for
Well,
him.
if we cut his mic off, we won't know.
Oh, great. Trace. Thanks. So I thought.
Clearly.
Wow. Brian, go.
Ready?
We got places to
Yeah,
go.
absolutely. 7 minutes late for a meeting. This movie, I thought, was actually pretty good. I think Michael Rady was great as usual. His daughter, Grace, really good. You're looking at like Crazy Eyes, no? Am I way off track.
I'm
here?
not looking at anybody with
Crazy.
anything.
So, but the thing
You
was,
thought this movie was good?
I thought it was good. I thought that it was
Wowzers.
big sads, obviously. And with a dead child, I feel like big sads is like really low-hanging fruit, and it could be, you don't have to put a lot towards it if you present that scenario. It's pretty sad in general, but I feel like they actually earned it. Like the way they talked about grief, I thought was pretty authentic, and there were some things in the script when they talked about how they were feeling and dealing with it. I felt like they came from a place of like real experience. I've never been in that situation. It would be rough to be in that situation, either one, losing a spouse or losing a child. But I was watching it, and I felt like they were doing a pretty good job. I wasn't like, I mean, things moved along in certain parts of this a little faster than they probably would in real life. A little uncomfortable with some of the way that the kid just showed up at the doorstep, but the little girl was looking for, a mom figure, so I can't blame her necessarily. Him in a lot of those scenarios early on, I felt like the dad was like, "What are you doing today? All right, cool. We'll catch you. We'll see you back here
Catch
for the
on the
game."
flip.
Yeah, it was like he was just not present enough in what was going on in her life. But overall, I think it was pretty good. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Um,
Fascinating.
That is.
I do want to I
Wait
want
till
to add to the record my and Dan's first take when we see Michael Rady on screen. Is this? Oh, it's not going to play.
Oh, come on.
Never mind,
Oh, come
everybody.
on.
Never mind. Hold on. All right, you ready? You
Ed,
ready?
Nowhere, you still there? Kill some time.
Here we go. So that's us. Pretty
alert.
excited to see Michael Rady back on
Yeah.
screen, and that was worth it. Love Michael Rady. Great to see him on screen. Okay, this movie is tough because I think I did like it. I think there is a bit of a weirdness to the whole thing that I have a feeling felt more weird than it maybe did on paper. Like, we're seeing things we're like, that's odd. That's weird.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe don't invite her to the cap. Like, there's a lot of
Yes.
things where you're just like, this feels a bit odd. But I think that with a few tweaks here and there, it could have turned out to be a really wonderful Sweets movie. But what we were left with was a little bit like, I don't know, I feel awkward and I don't know why type of situation. So I liked the general idea of it. I felt like there was a little bit of a hodgepodge beluga going on there that could have been fleshed out with a little bit more time. I felt like time was the enemy with this one. I think with a little bit more time, we could have done something really cool. And instead, we were left with, great to see Michael Rady. I just felt a little bit weird about the whole thing. Does that make sense, guys? Does that make sense what I'm saying here?
It was compacted.
It certainly does.
It just felt a little bit weird. But I liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys are cool. The best version of this movie is like a 2 hour and 40 minutes, like Oscar bait character study where it lasts like 10 years and you get a lot of exposition. And I don't know if I want to watch that movie, but at least it would make more sense than two adults trying to utilize a child to make themselves feel better. And that's unfortunate in this movie. I miss Michael Rady on screen dearly. I wish he was in a Christmas movie every year and a seasonal Hallmark or Lifetime or whatever movie, and he's not. Instead, we get this. And the best I can say about this movie is that it looked like it really was cold outside. That's the best I can say. This is a woman who is trying to grieve the loss of her daughter and her husband and basically like takes a girl she's known for a week out to a cabin with her. There's a lot of questionable behavior in this movie and a lot of, I can't believe this is being shoehorned into Hallmark. It's pretty dreadful. I hated it because everyone is taking themselves very seriously and they're trying to have a really like an actual discussion about grief, but instead it just somehow things are moving too fast and glacially slow at the same time. The movie felt 2 hours long, but the plot is moving at a pace that it has no business moving. It's a no. It's a hard no for me. I would prefer the other movie of the weekend, Game of Love, in fact, to this movie. So there you have it. Not a great weekend for Hallmark.
Let's go feels. Bri?
Yeah, the front porch of Noelle's house. Holy cow. What a porch.
You kidding me right now?
You kidding me right now? Oh my gosh, that porch. Wow. Every time they showed that porch, I was like, look at that porch.
I don't remember the porch.
Oh, what?
I don't remember it.
Man, it's a phenomenal porch.
Do you remember it?
Trust me. What?
Neither of us remember it. In the Love.
I remember the basket.
The basket.
Porch.
The house. Her house. Regular
Do you
house.
remember the porch,
Are you
Aaron?
kidding me?
I remember the porch of the cabin.
No.
I don't remember.
What was so great about the
It
porch?
was just a wraparound. It was just beautiful. It just looked great. It's a giant porch.
Brian's going through a tough time with all of his house stuff. So I think
am.
like
That's
he's
true.
like,
You have a porch at your
I
house?
do have a, and I go, look at that porch, and Diana goes, we have a porch. I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, I know. That's a beautiful porch. So I do have a porch.
Yeah,
I
great.
like a porch, you know?
Yeah, you love a
Just
porch.
respect the porch.
Brian looks at like finished houses that aren't falling down. And he's like, man, that's
Yeah.
nice.
Anything
look at
where
this
all the
house. You
rooms
believe
have
this
all the
house?
walls and floors.
What
We just
were you
finished.
gonna say?
He keeps saying the word porch.
Yeah, I said
It's just
porch like
getting
45 times. We just finished all the major work we were doing, and we had to rip out our dining room floor and wall. So we're just back at square one. It's never ending. It's unbelievable. But the real feels was when Noelle came home and the balloon was in the basket on her porch. Ironically, that part, I put myself in her situation. I was just thinking, man, if I came home to that I can't imagine how that doesn't break you as like a grieving mother.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, holy cow, that was pretty good for them.
That was pretty good. That was
Pretty good for them.
Good job with putting the
Pretty
emotions
good.
on screen.
That was pretty good
for
for
them.
them. That was pretty good for them.
Pretty good.
So
deep.
you guys remember Balloon Boy?
Yes.
Oh yes.
Okay. So I tried something similar before Balloon Boy. So me and my buddy we had a whole plan kind of cooked up where we would release a balloon, we would record the video of it and try to send it to local news and say, hey, We see something up there. We see something going on right there.
Trying to scam the news.
We were trying to skim the news. That's exactly right. Before that was cool.
Yeah.
And
Back when it was illegal.
I gotta be honest. This gave me there's something about balloons. I've put a message on a balloon before.
You have.
And said, hey, if you get this, give me a holler.
Yeah.
Never got a holler.
You'd said that.
Give me a holler.
Get this, give me a holler.
Give me a holler.
You think maybe that was the issue?
I don't think so. So you know what, the general idea of this, I like. You know what, I would like this in a like a romantic movie. The basket
Romantic.
I think like it's a cool idea. I just felt like how it all happened and the fact that there were kids involved made it all icky.
I mean, Bottled with Love is the most preposterous premise with Andrew Walker, Bethany Joy Lenz. Movie works.
Movie slaps.
Yeah, movie slaps. The dead daughter and dead wife make this not.
Why
the
they
time.
gotta kill her like that? Why?
Not
Why
the time.
They gotta do her like that.
Why Tony have to die?
Tony.
Why couldn't Tony have lived? These two girls become sweet pen pals, and then the parents meet and they fall in love.
Yeah.
Why couldn't we just do that?
Yeah, we could
The
have done
fact
that.
that Tony died is what made it weird because we're 2 years removed, almost to the day, and a girl similar age to Tony when she died walks up to her door and she's like, "Rah." That it's just a
Weird situation.
Weird situation. I
they
would have
had that
preferred Tony to live, and I think we all would have.
that cut. And somebody in the network was like, "Not sad enough."
Not sad
Said,
enough.
Sorry, Tony. Gotta go.
Sorry, Tony. Rip. Dan?
RIP.
Yeah, this is terrible, but I searched my heart and found nothing. I like do as a parent put myself in the shoes of a grieving parent, and that makes me sad. But just the sheer presence of that is not enough to get a feels for me. This movie wasn't it. Sorry.
Let's take a quick break. We'll come back and we'll talk about this more here on Deck the Hallmark.
It's going to be another week, man. I just found out.
What do you mean?
What?
Add a week to it.
Come on.
Add a week to what?
You know, add a week to it. We thought
The
it was
thing.
today. Add a week.
No.
Yeah.
Son of a
I
gun.
haven't. What
Son
was
of a
that
gun.
thing we were doing? The exercise that we couldn't get her in here.
Zumba?
Zumba. Yeah. I haven't Zumba'd since.
Welcome back to Deck the Hallmark, everybody. Hopefully you're watching us on the Philo, where you could have
Philo.
watched this movie, Hallmark, Lifetime, Up, a whole bunch of other Food Network.
Dude, there's a new Guy
even.
Fieri show.
There is.
There's a new Guy Fieri
Guys
cooking
back in
competition
town.
show. And I caught it on the Philo.
I'm
I caught the
saving
commercial
that
for it.
on my Philo DVR.
Oh my goodness.
It's gonna be there. It's gonna
Flavor
unload
Town,
it.
baby.
You cooking real stuff, or
I
is he
think
making
it's
things up?
I think it's a contest. Like it's like a
Oh, he's
cooking
hosting
show.
type
Yeah,
of thing?
yeah,
Okay, all right.
yeah.
It's called Guys.
You know.
It's Guy,
You know-
and he's just hanging out. He's trying to find his next
Find his boys.
his buddy. He's
Okay.
trying to find his
I
next
don't
buddy.
think it's called Guys.
It's
I don't
Guys.
think that's what's
He should
happening
send up
there
a
at all.
balloon.
He should.
That's what I'm talking
That
about.
would be a better use of that than what this was.
Guys. Hi, I'm Guy, and I'm just looking for my guy.
Oh my guys.
Speaking of my guys, here we're gonna talk about the wait what's, and I'm gonna kick it over to my guy Bri. Bri?
Yeah, when so one of the issues I had was early on Rady not asking any questions at all to his daughter, and one of them was when she said, "I have like a," what did she say? She said, "I'm heading to a potential friend's house."
Yeah.
and he asked
no.
0.0 questions about who that might
Are we
be.
supposed to believe she's in high? She's a freshman.
I think
right?
she's a freshman in high
freshman
school.
girls basketball team.
Yeah.
That is a weird. I think freshmen that you're 14, 15.
Mm-hmm.
I think they were trying to like play on the fact that that's that age where you start to get a little bit more freedom.
Yeah.
But I still had all kinds of problems
Yeah.
with the lack of anything.
Any questions at all?
Yeah.
And maybe because
Be
we do
tough.
have young kids, but still,
Yeah.
it's your only child. It's just you two.
Yeah.
he'd be all up.
It'd be
in
tough.
That.
Be tough.
We were barely freshmen too. That's the
That's-
thing.
that's the
merely
thing.
freshman.
Dang it.
Not barely. Come
I
on,
was a
man.
freshman when we were freshmen, right? Were you a freshman
Yeah,
when that
I
came
was.
out?
I
Same.
was in 8th grade when that song came
Well, I
out.
was a true freshman.
Yeah.
Man, it was a thing.
For the
I'll tell
life
you,
of
it was
me,
a thing.
I just can't remember.
Yeah.
I was a redshirt freshman.
Okay.
You're like 6.
Yeah, I did a reverse redshirt. It's like
I was about to say
Inside out.
you were a
Sends me
younger
up,
red
sends-
shirt.
sends me up 4 years.
Oh, it does.
Sends you up.
Sends me up 4 years instead of holding me back.
You mean
Don't
sends
ask
you
questions.
He
No,
used
up.
to skip.
I'm going up.
down. So when you were 6 years old, you were a 12th grader.
I'm going up.
It's how the red shirt works.
I don't think you understand. I'm going up, Dad.
I got it.
Started at the Brian.
That's
now
on me. That's right.
I don't know. I'm going up. I don't know what more you need. I'm going up and using my red shirt.
Using your red shirt.
A little red shirt. So another issue I had here, red shirts aside, the whole thing with the new governor, tightening the purse strings and stopping the university's science center construction. Like, just like, I don't think that the governor.
I mean, state-sponsored schools do have to present a budget.
Yeah.
But if you moved like a foreman there with a contract, that thing's going through.
Absolutely. And usually, like in that situation, the university has more power, I think, than the governor. Like they're the big employer. It's
for sure.
It just, I didn't like.
They promised that to people who are going to donate.
Exactly. It's got somebody's name on it. It's a whole, like it just.
Weak.
Yeah. Weak sauce.
Weak sauce.
Absolutely. And my last two here. This one, I love when this happens. When Noelle and Rady were at the table talking about, will you take my daughter away for the weekend? Yeah. That whole conversation. They kept cutting back and forth between the two at the table. And at one point, Rady had a tie on. And then they cut to her, and they cut back to Rady, and he did not have a tie on.
Yeah,
and I just
classic.
I love that stuff.
Classic.
That was great. So the last one, who's paying for that? The science center they ended up building, or the pediatric center at the end. They didn't explain.
No, they're just like, what if
stuff.
you hired him to do this here instead? Oh, great.
So was his name Brian, the dad? I think his name. He's like Mr. Moneyback. He must have a big corporation.
The
or
solution
something.
made as much sense as the problem.
Yes,
like both of them were.
I didn't like. Bad. Like they just all of a sudden we got a brand new building. Everything's all taken care of. We're all set. We're breaking ground. All the problems are solved. Like how did that happen? Who's funding that? So that was just kind of a big question on my mind.
There's a pepperoni pizza in this movie that I would like to call into question. What is it? It's not pepperoni. I don't know what. I thought it was a macaroni pizza. That's where I was.
It's
at.
a mess.
I don't like it. And they're over there watching it was such an interesting movie to all of a sudden care about real sport teams and names on teams. It was so random. It was almost more jarring than the red team's going to win. I was like, wow, these are real. You got real things going on here. Falling for Basketball podcast. You can find all about the Nuggets and the Joker.
Overrated, my opinion.
You think he's stat padding you and Kendrick Perkins? You and Kendrick Perkins are going to go hang out.
I hate to be on the same side as Kendrick Perkins, but if your team isn't successful,
the best team in the NBA. What are you talking about?
Right? You think so?
I'm just saying.
All right.
The best team in the NBA.
It's not the MVP.
I don't. We could talk about that all day long, Dad. I'm just saying. All
right, keep going.
It's tough. It's tough. You're in a tough place. What was I talking about? Pepperoni pizza.
Real, whatever.
Pizza. Dan.
Real teams. Yeah.
That's all you got?
I got. Yeah.
Great. Okay. She leaves the house at the beginning of this movie without her lunch.
Yeah. Well, no.
She goes back and gets it?
He said there's a cupcake in there, and she took it, I think.
Oh, she did. She goes back and takes it. Great. Makes my life easy. This town is a town where high school kids all get together at cool hipster bookstores and play glass chess sets, but they will not talk to the new kid.
Yeah.
They can all hang out at bookstores with their glass chess sets, but the new girl, they are just straight bullies to her. How about this girl requesting a new lab partner? Like
in her face.
In her face. Yeah. Face. Like I couldn't believe how mean everyone was to this girl. Yeah. Can we talk about the smallest ping pong table of all time? Is this a joke? This ping pong table is smaller than this table in front of us. It is. You couldn't play ping pong on it if you tried. I don't want to be that guy, but this girl is terrible at basketball. Like. At anything. And the dad in the stands going, $40, you could score a bucket on my daughter. That's Tony, actually, who did that. She's not good at defense either. Very, very, like, unconvincing all the way around. But the two big wait what's this movie. The first one is this woman literally just signed her divorce papers on a Friday.
Ink is still wet. On
a Sunday, I'm just guessing, 2 days later, is the 2-year anniversary of her daughter's death. And she's like, you know what it's time for? Maybe a date night. maybe taking someone else's daughter away to the cabin for a week. You know, I've not done anything about my grief for 2 years, but now that I just signed my divorce papers and 2 days from now is the anniversary of my kid dying, I think now's the time to really get back out there, guys. And like, time's of the essence. Let's do it right now, like right away. That is what we need to do. And then lastly, I have to ask this. Have you ever heard anyone call chamomile tea?
2 people.
Who?
The actresses in this movie.
That's it. That's it. I've never heard anyone, and I'm not a big tea drinker.
Well,
It's
that,
nicely
Brian.
done, Brian. Really
That
good.
was awesome.
I've never heard anyone be like, "What kind of tea do you have?" Oh, we got some chamomile. Chamomile tea.
Chamomile.
That doesn't even fly in the South.
Y'all, give me that chamomile.
Yeah, man, can I get chamomile?
How far does that thing travel?
There's a camel, a mile or so.
Chamomile?
You know
Or chamomile?
camels.
Give me some Earl Grey, some chamomile. What are other tea names? I don't have.
Debris?
We got other tea. Some oolong,
green.
some oolong, Darjeeling, some Darjeeling tea.
Some
Like,
night,
no.
some neaty neat. It's like
No.
nighty night. I don't know.
Sleepy Timmy.
Sleep.
Is that Sleepy Timmy tea? You got Sleepy Timmy over there? I'll take you. Bring that Sleepy Timmy on over here. I love that Sleepy Timmy tea. It's good stuff.
Hello,
Good as a chamomile.
it's me, a sleeper Timmy.
That tea will make you sleep for a chamomile.
That's right.
Are you Sleepy Timmy is here with Ed
Yeah.
Nowhere?
Oh, no.
Hello,
How you doing, Sleepy Timmy?
so tired. I've never been this tired in my life. I've only been this even close 2 times.
2 times.
Yep. 1
Yep.
was playing basketball.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So
That'll do
tired.
it.
Yeah.
2, hung out with Dan's mom.
That'll
Hung
do it.
out.
Yep. We're just hanging out.
Whole family involved, actually. It was a whole 5K family reunion. I'm your cousin.
Mr. Thompson was there?
Yes. It was exhausting. Almost as weird as this movie. Let's get to what the Hallmark. Let's start with you,
McGuire's
Brian.
retired. I don't know what else to tell you.
Brian,
Yep.
what you got?
So I was just wondering
Didn't
what
see
she...
the Sleepy Timmy bit go that far. Didn't see it happen.
No one did. I don't think he did
It
either.
went-
He backed up real quick.
He did. He
Went
really
a camel
did.
mile. That's how far it went.
Yeah.
That,
Walked the full green chamomile, didn't he?
I was kind of curious about the science fair. We didn't hear anything else about that.
Good. Glad you were.
Yep.
Great. What the Hallmark, Brian?
No, I'm actually with. Okay, so I want to talk this through with the people.
Yep.
So she wakes up in in Tony's bed at the cabin.
Tony's bed. Yep.
Wakes up and sees
Tony.
the quote
R.I.P.
from Einstein: "Energy can't be created or destroyed." And she comes up. She's
Light
runs
bulb.
down the stairs and says, "I know what I'm going to do for my science fair project. I'm going to prove that Tony and Mom
Yeah.
aren't dead.
Just transferred their energy.
Just transfer their energy." And she just throws that out there. And Jack and what's her name, Noelle, are just like, okay,
All right.
okay. How far she get there?
Yeah.
How far she getting in that project?
Yeah, I'm wondering what the heck she's gonna do.
My hypothesis. I don't know. I'm intrigued by that science fair project for sure. For
I
sure.
want to know when things go south with the cabin. You mean to tell me they really are just going to have joint custody of a cabin for the rest of their lives? Nobody
Maybe.
gets that cabin in a divorce, and that's going to be amicable and fine and no problem.
I could see there being problems down the road. Probably. Usually that stuff happens. Yeah. I mean, if you split it 50-50 and you're both like, all right, we're going to have equal ownership. We're each getting
I think that's tough,
this
man.
many weeks a year. It will be tough because you'll constantly have to.
There's
if you both
just
get
no world where that's going to be okay.
yeah, somebody's new spouse or
Yeah,
is going to come in
something.
and be like, yeah,
Like, for instance, if she, like, on the 2-year anniversary of her
Yeah.
daughter's death, like, meets a man
right.
who has a daughter.
That's right, and they're there.
That's going to become weird. It's going to become weird.
Yep.
Did someone sleep in Tony's bed? All the sheets were. Oh yes, there's a little girl here.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
oh,
another
your new
daughter.
family.
Yeah,
Yeah.
roughly the same age as when Tony
And she's
died.
wearing
Don't
her
even worry about
dungaree
it.
jacket.
Yeah. Don't worry about it. Still has the note inside.
Oh, you know what? Let's talk about that guy too. The kid.
Yeah.
She says, "Hey, Tony was into you," and then we never see that kid again. That kid is nowhere to be found the rest of this movie.
I thought he was going to keep the note.
She finally made a friend.
Yeah.
I don't know. Hey, we did it, everybody. Yep. Congratulations. Big weekend. Palaha movie. Way Home, another one. Lots of things going on this weekend. And, of course, our perfect brackets will be put to the test. We'll see what happens on the other side of it. Until then, maybe the first to wish you a Merry Christmas.
Deck the Hallmark is a Bramble Jam podcast. It's produced by Aaron Shea. What? For more information on Deck the Hallmark, you can go to deckthehallmark.com. For more information on the Deck the Hallmark family, you can go to bramblejamplus.com. Deck the Hallmark is presented by Philo TV. For a free trial of Philo, go to philo.tv/DTH.